Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Piatek from COLI at Canisius College. In this video we will discuss some of the basics of using Microsoft 365, sometimes referred to as MS365. MS365 is a suite of various online applications provided by Microsoft, similar to Google's Google Drive and Google's suite of applications. MS365 offers Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and other online versions of these powerful applications. They also offer online storage in the form of OneDrive. We will not cover all of the applications offered to you by MS365, but instead focus on Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneDrive, and customization settings for MS365. Also, a few distinctions need to be made. First, MS365. Microsoft 365 is the name of the overall service of online applications. Second is Office 365, which is similar to your regular Google Drive, where you can access most of the applications offered by MS365, most prominently the online versions of Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, amongst other online applications. Third is OneDrive. OneDrive is much closer to your Google Drive, but you are only able to access certain applications from your OneDrive, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The main difference between Office 365 and OneDrive is that Office 365 is a service for accessing what we traditionally call Microsoft Office applications online. OneDrive, on the other hand, is cloud-based storage that has some Microsoft Office applications integrated with it. However, both rely heavily on the other. Office 365 relies on OneDrive for cloud storage and hard drive synchronization, which we'll get into in a separate video, while OneDrive relies on Office 365 for functionality. If that has not confused you, great. If it has, the main takeaway is that Office 365 and OneDrive are separate online applications with different purposes and capabilities, though they look similar. To access MS365, log into mycanisius.edu. So I'll just log in real quick. If you've accessed Google Drive from MyCanisius before, this process will be all familiar to you. After you log in, go to My Applications and click on that to get the drop-down of links. MS365 is right here, and I can drag it to the Favorites section right here for easier access later on. I'll click on it, and this will take me to Microsoft 365 and directly take me to what is known as Office 365. If you've used Google Drive before, Office 365 will seem similar except a bit more organized. At the top, you'll see your recommended files. Most of these are the recently worked on files or frequently accessed files. If this is your first time accessing Office 365, it may be empty. You've got your recent files here. If you've shared any files or have had shared files with you, they'll appear here, and favorite files will appear here. I'll go back to the All section. Below this, you can see various files that you've created or used in Office 365. Each file has different logos, which indicate different file types. These ones, for example, indicate that these are Word documents with the big W right here. This one right here indicates that it's a PDF file, and these indicate Sway, and this one indicates a OneNote file. We'll get into each of these in separate videos. To the right of this section here, the All My Recent Shared and Favorites tabs, I have a little search bar that I can use to filter my list a little bit, and I can also click here to upload my files. I can also simply just open the File Explorer and drag files into this area, and they will be copied over to Office 365. For some more options for each file, I can hover over them, and all the way to the end, I can see a little arrow symbol that I can use to quickly share the file with other people. I can also click on these three dots right here, to the right of that, for some more options. Keep in mind that some files have different options. For example, these Word documents have the option to be opened up in the desktop Word application, while some of these other files do not have that option. Also note that while you may have this option, if you do not have the accompanying desktop program, this may not work. On the left-hand side, you can see a menu. It's got a little home icon right here. This means that we are in the Office 365 home area. Below that is a plus sign, and this will allow me to create various files. I can create a Word document, Excel spreadsheet, a PowerPoint, and so on. Here I can go to the Word homepage, Similar to Google Drive and their suite of applications, if I click on this, it'll send me to a section devoted entirely to Word and creating Word documents or accessing my Word files. As you can see, I just have my Word files. I don't have that PDF from before, nor any of those other files that I had initially. The same thing will happen if I click on the Excel right here, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint, etc. To access all of my apps, I can click on this and I can see all of the apps that I have access to. There are quite a bit, but we won't be going into all of them. Instead, we'll take a look at OneDrive, which is this blue cloud symbol right here.
OneDrive is probably the most similar thing to Google Drive. As you can see here, I have a folder that I created called COLI.
Over here, under sharing, you can see that it is set to private, which means that this folder has not been shared with anyone. Clicking into this folder, I can see a bunch of other folders, which each have different files. I'll click on the interesting files really quick, and as you can see, there's other files and folders in this. I can easily see when each of these files were last modified by who, the file size, or if it's a folder, how many items are in it, and the sharing. At the top, I can see the file path that got me to where I am now. I'll click on My Files all the way to the left to go back to that initial page, but I could just as easily click on COLI to get back to the COLI folder. Similar to Google Drive, I can drag files into this page to copy them to my OneDrive, or click on Upload in the upper left right here. To the left of that, I can also see a blue New button. This will allow me to create various files and folders. And to the left of this menu is another side menu. Right now I'm in My Files, but I can click on Recent to view recently added files. And below that, I can click on Shared to view recently shared files. And below that is the Recycle bin. If I've deleted a file by accident or otherwise lost a file for some reason, it may be in the Recycle bin. I also have some shared libraries, but we won't get into those right now. I'll go back to Office 365 for now. In the upper left corner is a grid of squares next to where it says OneDrive. Clicking on this will give me a new menu, but here too is where I can access various MS365 applications if for some reason they do not appear on the left sidebar. In the upper right corner, right here, is a link to Office 365. Clicking on that will open up a new tab specifically for Office 365 and has a logo similar to the desktop Microsoft Office logo.
Just to reiterate, though they look the same and rely heavily on each other, Office 365 is different from OneDrive. Office 365 is the main landing page for MS365 and is how you access most, if not all, of your online applications provided to you by MS365. OneDrive is cloud-based storage with some integration with Office 365 to create most, but not all, files offered to you by MS365. Office 365 is reliant on OneDrive for cloud storage capabilities, while OneDrive is reliant on Office 365 for access to the various applications offered to you by MS365.
The final thing you can do is customize how your MS365 looks.
Your MS365 may look something like this. It is a bit bland, and for me anyway, it's very difficult to see things.
To change this, you can click on the gear icon in the upper right corner, and you can choose from various themes, which will change this top part, which is known as a header. The other thing too is dark mode, which is what I have on right now. Yours might look something like this, but I prefer dark mode, so I'll switch that back on. I can also change the language and time zone. There are a few other options like change your password and contact preferences, but these are both controlled by Canisius College, so I won't go into them. You should also not touch these options as you might damage your account. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please email us at helpdesk@canisius.edu. Thanks for watching and have a great day.